I'm very pleased today to introduce Dan Wallace of Wallace and Pancher Incorporated from Hermitage, Pennsylvania. Mr. Wallace, a civil engineer, is here today with his business partner, biologist Brian Pancher, to share the story of their environmental engineering and construction firm. Dan and Brian's story is an incredible small business success. They built their company from the ground up, literally. Their business, which they started in October of 2001, expanded from the two partners working out of Mr. Wallace's basement to 80 employees among 3 separate offices in 2010. They built their company from scratch, working year after year to develop a strong client base and refine their business to one that could weather the current recession and turn 2008 into a breakout year, or 2009 into a breakout year. Wallace and Pancher demonstrate the strong work ethic and can-do attitude that makes Western Pennsylvania a great place to do business. I'm very proud to have Dan and Brian here to represent our region's small businesses before this committee. And I appreciate Mr. Wallace being here today. You now have 5 minutes for your testimony.
Representative Dahlkamper, other members of Congress, thank you very much for giving us a chance to be here today and tell you the story of our company. It's at times like this that we get to reflect back, Brian and I get to reflect back and think about all the things or the path that has taken, that we've had to take to get to where we are today. And it doesn't happen too often because we're too busy trying to manage the business and manage the growth, but it's nevertheless a fun story to tell. Well, Brian and I are a fairly unlikely pair to get together, let alone to start a new business. And Brian being a wildlife and fisheries biologist and myself a civil engineer, often those two disciplines within the industry of consulting engineering butt heads and they don't really work together so well a lot of times. But Brian and I became good friends. We met at a big engineering firm where I was already working. Brian was coming in to that company, coming in from the working for environmental agencies around the country as a biologist. And he and I just became friends. And, you know, after a few years, we decided that, you know, it was time we wanted to do this for ourselves. So we decided to incorporate our business just 2 weeks before September 11th, 2001. And as everybody knows, that was a day that has changed our country and changed the world. And you know, a lot of people told us that we were crazy for starting our business. We had good jobs at this big engineering firm, and you know, we really could have had our life pretty much set at that company, doing projects all over the country for you know, large and small projects. And but we didn't listen to them. We went ahead and we gave our notice at that company, and we left. We stepped out on our own. Well, we had nowhere to step to, so we went into my basement, and we had one old computer and 2 desks, kind of makeshift desks, and we had a big idea. And from there, it becomes a pretty interesting story. Through our network of contacts that we had at this big engineering firm, we thought that we were going to be able to, you know, contact them, get work, that type of thing. And so we started making those phone calls, and one by one, they told us that they didn't have any work for us. So our strategy had to change pretty quickly, and so we had to just start putting ourselves out in front of anybody we could to get our name out and what we could do for clients. Our company started off doing environmental consulting, stream and wetland issues, getting projects through that process to get the permits to fill in wetlands. We designed new stream corridors and wetland replacement or mitigation sites. And you know, one by one, we got the opportunity to do work for different clients, and they loved what we were able to do for them, and they started telling other people, and soon the word of mouth really started to spread. But we still kept doing presentations at conferences, any place we can go to get our name out. We've done free work, we've done all kinds of things, but you know, so we we got to the point at the end of 2003. Now this is our second full year in business, and we realized that we couldn't do any more work than humanly possible, and so we hired our first employee November 3rd of 2003. By the end of 2004, we had to hire one more person, and we knew that we were quickly running out of room in my basement, and we had to make some move to get out to a bigger space. So we purchased a small home and we remodeled it into an office. We moved into that place in August of 2005, and at that point, again, we only had 4 people. So just about, I guess it's 4.5 years ago that we moved out of my basement, and now we have about 80 people. And as of this week, we may have more because we continue to keep hiring to meet the needs of our clients. During those years, we've added a construction division, and it really started off with myself renting a little mini excavator because I couldn't get across to the contractors to build those natural environments the way we knew they needed to be built. So we now have a full-service construction crews, and we've been very blessed to experience the growth. Last year, we hired about 31 people. This year already, we've hired over 20 people, and we see a continuing demand for the services we provide to our clients. And we'll continue to hire people to meet that demand and give those clients more than what they expect. And that's our belief. And thank you very much.